Hey there, it's Lokazi. Here we have a game between Exo and Soldier, both playing Protoss here on Desert Oasis. Now, Exo is generally a fairly macro-intensive Protoss player. If you've seen any of my replays with him in it, he generally keeps some early pressure on, but expands fairly early. Soldier I've only seen play once before this game. As far as I can tell, he's a very standard Protoss player. Usually goes for like some type of a 4-gate or like a 3-gate robo opener versus other Protoss. So it'll be interesting to see what he does here. I've also seen him go like 2-gate, Void Ray, fairly standard Protoss versus Protoss builds. Nothing too out of the ordinary or too crazy. Exo's been known to stalker, harass with warp prisms, dropping 4 in and then warping more in right when he gets there for like 6 to harass the mineral line, storming larva, stuff like that. Just good harassment tactics even as a Protoss player, which generally lack opening harassment and control. And it looks like both players here are doing their standard builds, no type of proxying or anything like that. Both players have one of their pylons up, both players are throwing up their gateways. I'm not really getting too crazy. It's interesting, neither player has thrown up their gas yet. Exo's at 14. Let's see if he throws it up at 15 or so. Soldier letting that probe in through his little wall over there, lets him scout, lets him see if he's getting gas. Exo doesn't see anything, and it looks like he's going to be heading back out. But I think that Jaja was him missing, blocking that Exo's probe getting in. Now, Soldier has scouted himself, and he's moving down here. I don't know if he's going to build a proxy pylon, or... Yeah, looks like he's going to build a proxy pylon on the other side of this destructible rock, which is a good choice for later pushing, and it's kind of out of the way. They're not really going to check that. They're not really going to be defending, well, moving over there to attack the rock, so it's not really going to be picked up very quickly. Exo does have his gas out here, as well as Soldier just throwing his up. Soldier a little behind on his probe count compared to Exo. Exo spending all of his chrono boosts on probes, as he generally does, just pumping those suckers out. He's up to 20 right now. He's 3 ahead, which is probably going to pay off for him in the long run. Exo's macro is very, very strong. Now he does sacrifice, using the boost on any type of early units, but as a Protoss player, if you have the gas and you can sentry up your hill, you can pretty much hold off any starting army in that way. Surprised not going for a sentry second. Looks like he's picking up a stalker, probably to stop any type of, or at least help mitigate any 2-gate pushing out of the other player. It looks like there is a 2-gate going up over here on Soldier's side, and he's going for warp tech right off the bat. Of course, he has that proxy pylon, maybe thinking he can make some use out of it, depending on what he scouts. Exo throwing up a Stargate, not throwing up his second gateway, throwing up a Stargate off the bat, looks like. I wonder if we're going to be seeing some Void Ray or possibly some Phoenix harassment. I'm not sure. Looks like Soldier has thrown up his second gas, going for some type of relatively heavy gas build. Maybe Void Rays out of him as well. We'll have to see how that develops. Back at Exo's base, he has both his gas running. Stargate's almost finished. It'll be really interesting to see what he pumps out here. I think Exo has extremely strong macro, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Phoenixes. He doesn't seem like a Void Ray type of player to me. Not insulting him when he goes Void Rays. And yeah, it does look like a Phoenix coming out here. So we should see some fun in that. Phoenixes are really strong versus other Protoss players. The only real defense they have against them as far as their ground mix is, of course, Stalkers, and Sentries, but Sentries are light, and Phoenixes do 5 damage times 2 to normal units and 10 damage times 2 to light units, so they're very powerful. Can actually, 2 Phoenixes can pick up a Sentry, and the one can pick it up and the other one can kill it in only, let's see, 4 shots? It's pretty quick, based on their attack speed. Looks like Soldier is throwing up. He threw up a Stargate. Looks like he is pumping out a Void Ray. He's not really taking advantage of that proxy pylon. He's not really going for multiple gateways and trying to warp over there and get his army going over there. Looks like the first 2 Phoenixes are out from Exo. Maybe we'll see some harassment starting up. 2 is when you can start harassing, 1 to lift, 1 to start picking off probes. And looks like Exo's barely ahead on probes right now. He's been using his boosts on those on those Phoenixes, it looks like, to get out the harassment. A good choice to switch over. He probably knows that he's either ahead or equal on probe count, and he knows he's pretty much saturated his mineral line at this point, so he's just going to try and wreak some havoc on the other player. Now, both armies kind of moving out here. Exo being spotted as he goes for his harassment, but he does see that Void Ray, so he knows that that's coming. And those Phoenixes should be able to take out that Void Ray pretty easily. Looks like Exo's moving up his Stalkers to assist in the Void Ray destruction here. Using the micro on those Void Rays to kind of scoot them away while still firing to get out of range of those Stalkers and take out that Void Ray. Very nicely done, very nice micro out of Exo here. Looks like he has 4 Void Rays. He can really go start harassing that mineral line if he thinks his front is safe. Based on the army he saw and the fact that he has a sentry with enough energy for 2 blocks, he could probably head on over and start harassing, and it looks like he is going to do that. Now, he is throwing up another gateway, so he's going to have 3 up here in a moment. Oh, it looks like he came back. He's going to have 3 up here in a moment, so easy transition into a nice Protoss ground army after he's done harassing. But he's also going to use these Phoenixes, I'm going to guess, to continue to pick up Stalkers and different units during the fights, just to really mitigate the amount of output Soldier has. Now, he's rolling up. Let's see how many probes he's going to take out. He started at 31. 5, 6. Oh, taking out Stalkers that are warping in. So 6 probes down and 2 Stalkers. Pretty good harassment. Oh, 7 probes down. And he's going to head out. He sees those cannons coming up. He's just going to head out and make sure his base is defended. He doesn't see Soldier's army, so he knows that Soldier's probably on the move. So he's probably going to try and find that and pick it off. Now, Soldier's doing the smart thing here and charging up on these rocks, which is an interesting addition to this map to help defend the natural expansion. A rock was put in, but this does allow for Void Rays to charge up on this map, which is pretty fun. And looks like that Void Ray is fairly charged. It's about half charged. Took out a pylon, but here come those Phoenixes, and they're going to rip it apart. Even though they do bonus damage to light, they still rip apart air units very quickly. Let's be interesting to see if Exo picks up those Stalkers. No, looks like he's going to go ahead and head out. Looks like his army is on the move across the map. He's built a proxy pylon on the right side of the map and is warping in Stalkers there, and also has moved his probe up for the proxy pylon for the push here in a moment. Looks like he's rolling in, seeing if he can, Exo's rolling in, see if he can pick anything off in Soldier's base. Try and keep him distracted. Another probe following to those Phoenixes. See if he can take out this Void Ray. Yep, looks like the Void Ray is getting taken out. Now Soldier throwing out 2 pylons at his natural. Not sure what those are for. I guess to get some, but those are just going to die. It looks like he probably should have canceled those instead of losing the resources on them. Exo is warping in units. Soldier trying to fend him off here, pulling up his army that was close to Exo's base. Now he does have a split force. I don't think this is going to work out well for him. And here come those Phoenixes lifting up those units, and it looks like it's about to be GG here. So here we have a really strong example of Phoenixes being used to harass another Protoss player. As you can see, there's not really much they can do. Stalkers do bonus damage to armored, so although they're good versus them, it's going to take them quite a few hits to take down a Phoenix. Phoenixes do have 60 shields for a total of 180 HP, so there's plenty of time to pick up, fire, move away, pick up, fire, move away. And they're very fast. I think like 4.25 as opposed to Stalker's 2.95, excuse me. So they can get a lot of harassment in, they can get a lot of movement in, they can pick off a lot of units. Really great example of Exo using mass Phoenixes with a 3-gate to push and win a game here against Soldier.